Hi everyone, welcome to Good Morning Toowoomba on this lovely royal holiday of birthdays. I'm Ben Apsey.
And I'm Daryl Nicholson. A big shout out to Toowoomba, Warwick, Stanthorpe, Dalby. I've even got people in New York watching my channel, mate, and Hawaii and India and Singapore. So we go right around the world. So like and share this transmission, please, from Good Morning Toowoomba and Toowoomba 4350 TV.
We are.
Behind us, let's talk about this on this royal public holiday, mate.
I love public holidays. Personally, I'd love to see one for Melbourne Cup Day.
Okay, yeah.
Probably not a full day. Most people don't work in the afternoon anyway. They do the office sweeps, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So my suggestion, a half public holiday.
Yeah, I think so.
Half day on Melbourne Cup Day in the afternoon and a half day for Remembrance Day in the morning.
Yep, that'd be good. Yeah, I agree. That would be nice. So, mate, behind us, normally this... Oh, by the way, we're in the studio.
We are in
4350.
Studio 4350.
4350. So, we took the TV away and we put this here because we want to talk about our symbiotic businesses here, mate.
You've got the word down pat.
It all started with Globetrotters, and Paul has taken over the business from Clive and Anne, who had the business for many, many years.
Yes, quite a long time.
You've done some major painting inside, which is... You can see the office from the street now. It shines, it glows, so that's really cool. Then how did the coffee come about, mate? I thought you were just going to do travel.
Well, Dad been in the travel industry for over 20 years now. Prior to that, he was in local government. When he originally, it was in Inglewood, so he was in local government out there. He worked just in the offices for 21 years.
Wow.
He finally got to a point where he went, I want to do something I enjoy for the rest of my life. I don't want to work for government anymore. And so he went and he started doing travel. And he did his diploma of tourism.
Yep.
And his dream originally was always to have a coffee shop and travel agency together. And we sort of had floated that idea back when we had Cool Beans Espresso.
Okay, yeah.
But the timing just never seemed to work out with moving Cool Beans around the corner. And so when he took over, he said, I want a coffee shop.
Good.
You can do the coffee and the travel. I went, okay.
It's really cool. We've had some customers in the travel shop and the travel agency, and they buy a coffee from you while they're here, while they're waiting, and while Paul's on the phone doing some transactions with the suppliers of the travel. So it's really cool. Then this came about. I was sort of walking around the shop, and what are you doing with this space here? It's a 4x4 metre space, and Luke from Light and Dark Productions, that's the right company name, isn't it, Luke? Yeah. So we're sharing this space, and got Studio 4350 and Light and Dark Productions as well, which helped put this podcast together, which is just brilliant. We're looking at doing some... Look, if you've got a school formula or anything you want us a hand with, just give us a yell. We'll come out on the road. We're going to do some testing and do that as well. And then you got a knock on the door from... Oh, we put it out there, that we had another back area there. So,
I do.
And someone came and put their name forward and is setting up a law firm out the back. So we've got a lawyer now, so if we get into trouble, we've got a lawyer if we say something wrong.
If the insurance doesn't cover us, the legal minds will.
Oh, insurance, I better... We'll talk about insurance later too, because I've got a story about the RACQ, about storm season. So, but anyhow, it's Monday the 5th of October 2020. Lots happening, mate.
Top of 27 degrees today. It is currently 19 in the CBD, and the UV is at 6 already. So definitely a slip, slop and slap kind of day.
Oh yeah, watch that. I didn't pull the doona up last night. We only got to a low of 12. So, and again, 0% chance of rain. There is rain around Australia, but not here. Coming. So, mate, Saturday night was absolutely amazing. I want to congratulate the oldies. Well, when I say the oldies, people 50 and above that came out, and there were some younger people your age that came to watch the Shadows tribute band. Bevan Beatros from Beatros Brothers, Owen Ray, and the guys, the other two guys on bass and guitar, just escaped me their names. They're not the original members of the Countdowns because two of them have passed away. Mate, they were brilliant. It was just like the Shadows. I grew up with the Shadows music, Mum and Dad playing it, and it was really good instrumental music and some great singing. And they sang Living Doll by Cliff Richard, and we're all going on a summer holiday. The oldies stayed in their chairs and just swayed around. This dancing thing, mate, we've got to get back to dancing. People dance together, have sex together, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, you know? That's what I don't get. You're allowed to stand up and drink. And it was really interesting, and a big shout out to Tristan from FX. He's also does some of the DJ work down at Fibbers.
Oh, yeah.
And his first song back on the deck was Elton John's "I'm Still Standing."
Yeah.
And he put a video of it up. I just thought that was classic. So
yeah, that's good. I'm still standing. So, but no, it was a really good night, and I want to thank the people supported the live music, and people are asking for live music. Yet Local and Live really needs to push along. You got to get to October 17 to the Powerhouse. Some great bands there, and you've been to Local and Live.
Yep.
It's a good night, and as you said, mate, the Screaming Choco is really not my cup of tea, but it was great to see live music.
Choco's just in general not my cup of tea, but them as a band, it was just nice to enjoy some live music, the atmosphere, and the good thing is you can stand up and have a beer next to them. You don't have to sit at the same table.
Vertical consumption.
Yeah.
I've got another one today about Corona too as we move on, but Local and Live do support that. Spotted Cows under Renault's already, mate, a painting company from Brisbane, posted that they're painting the building, so it looks like the cows are going, and I don't know whether they're going to change the name of the Spotted Cow. It's a classic name, it's a legendary name, so I don't know whether Hallmark are going to change the name. But
the Blotched Heifer?
We'll see, might see. So Margaret Street, mate, outside McDonald's, long overdue railway work there to be done. 30 workers going to be there at any one time. So
wow, okay. Pretty significant work.
Yeah,
working
Queensland Rail with Main Roads, I think, or Council. So just be careful there. We were discussing McDonald's, how they're going to go with their drive-through. I guess you'll have to come in off Station Street. It's only one way, so you have to come in off Russell Street and make your way through and go that way. Mate, lots of visitors in town. Lots of visitors in town this weekend.
So it was interesting, I was up at Laurel Bank Park on Saturday, and it was so quiet.
Oh, really?
There was a couple of kids' birthday parties, but it was, outside of that, really, really quiet. Like, people... steady, but it was nowhere near Carnival Saturday packed. So
it's let's do what might be open today. I can tell you Fitzy's is closed today. Tats generally closes on a public holiday. I don't think they're going to be open. The Cube, I'm not sure.
Banter is open.
Banter is open.
Coffee, Banter is open.
Yep, you're closed.
We're not.
You're closed. Toowoomba Sports Club is open, so if you are looking for a great feed, we have 5 fully qualified chefs, no apprentices. The food is great. We've got the new cantina downstairs, gaming. Mate, there were a lot of new faces in the club yesterday, and I think they're all coming along for a look. But Sports Club is open in the CBD.
And the Sports Club's a member of Clubs Queensland, which means that if you're a member of any other Clubs Queensland registered club, like Club Glenvale, for example, you can go in with your membership card.
That's right.
Nice and easy.
You'll still have to supply your mobile number and email addresses, though. Mate, no coronavirus in Queensland. Toowoomba after the carnival, which is good. It's been a week. So I reckon you're on track. I got a little bit nervous, but I'm going to say you were right. I don't think it's going to happen, mate. It's not going to happen.
No, I'm not worried.
Trevor and Megan they're calling it I'm not sure if it's a debate or more of an information seminar being monitored by the Chronicle on their website. 6:30 tonight, Megan O'Hara Sullivan and Trevor Watts. 1 minute to open. Questions from the public. You can get your questions in by 2 o'clock today, and 30 seconds for them to wrap up. So,
be interested in to see whether it's paywalled or not.
Yeah, that's one thing I can't tell you. I know I've got a subscription, but I won't be watching it tonight. I'll watch it later because I know
there's a lot of people starting to get very, very annoyed about the paywall, and all these media places cracking the poos that that Facebook's going to start charging them. So,
that's right.
Yep. You want to put it up on their social media platform, it's the same as you putting a paywall up on yours.
Exactly.
They're just doing the same thing that you've been doing to everyone for so long, and they're paywalling the media companies. So
exactly. Mate, visitors to Toowoomba are saying Queen's Park is unlike any other on the Darling Downs. So it's a park that the Mayor's proud of, that I'm really proud of, and I love the botanical gardens as well. And a lot of those botanical gardens is different trees that were brought in from overseas, and you can see the history of those trees there as well.
There's a bit of a history on the front page of that.
I want you to talk about that too.
It's not quite finished.
Okay, you want to keep it under wraps at the moment?
Nah. People, there's a few people that have seen it. So.
Yeah, so this is a thing Ben's worked on. So it's coming to Toowoomba Travel Mugs Coffee, and It's a little local guide of the CBD of places to see and visit and to go to.
Toowoomba City, gateway to the west.
So it'll be finished. We've got to get some more photos and put on there.
One more. I've got one more photo to get. So a little bit of information. It's got a couple of the highlights as far as the attractions and what to do in and around the CBD. And on the inside is a map and a place finder. So you can pick these up from us down here at Travel Mugs Globetrotters at 172 Margaret Street. But it's just a little find your way around the CBD where everything is. Because so many people are asking, and there's no tourist information centre in Toowoomba, so filling a gap, filling a need.
Just for the CBD, because we love the CBD of Toowoomba, and you've been so passionate about it, especially car parking when you ran for council.
I did. That was one thing that I definitely made sure I put on there was the car parking.
Yep.
So all the car parks are displayed on there.
Yep.
So people know where they can and can't park.
Yep.
As far as actual
good
parking
that'll be out this week. So, mate, storm season's upon us, and the RACQ are worried that, and I'm guilty, I'm not prepared for storm season. I haven't got a kit, and I haven't got a plan in case everything goes pear-shaped, if the house lost the roof or anything like that. So I need to put myself a little kit together of a torch and candles and stuff like that, because they're predicting a pretty serious storm season this year.
We haven't seen a serious storm season for so long, and it's weird, but it's nice to lie in bed at night time and hear a huge thunderstorm coming over.
Definitely.
It's when it's got lots of wind, and you can hear it, and you can hear the sheets on the roof, and you're sort of like, oh.
Yeah, is it going to lift or what? So,
thankfully, tiled roof, and there's solar panels on top of it, so hopefully.
Oh, the solar panels, you don't want to lose those. RACQ have done 860 claims for storm damage in the last 3 years, and they're saying 20% of people aren't prepared, and I'm one of those 20%, I must admit. So, but the crews at Ergon are brilliant. I've worked at Ergon Energy during storm season. Mate, those guys climbing poles and everything while electricity's, lightning's about. They're worth every cent, those live line guys and the guys that go out in the storms. Mate, the coronavirus stimuluses are coming to an end, and they're predicting 33,000 jobs in Queensland will be lost, and of which 1,274 may go in Toowoomba, so that's pretty scary. And in saying that, the Toowoomba Sports Club, you were at the function the other night, Karen said hired 12 people. Chamber of Commerce were pretty impressed with that. If you want a job in hospitality, they're looking for some more people. Toowoomba Sports Club, seriously. So, so what do you think about this economic stimulus, the coronavirus stimulus is ceasing?
I think it's highlighted exactly what a lot of people have been talking about, that there's all these businesses that have been functioning as zombie businesses. They've been so reliant on government handouts, and what have they done in that time to make sure that they're prepared, because they knew it was going to end in September. What have they done in that 6 months to get them prepared and their staff prepared to be able to function still with the same level of staff and meet the needs of paying the bills at the same time? So
so interesting. Let's see,
and still so many businesses that weren't even eligible for it that are just soldiering on regardless. So
the fruit picker thing, they flew some fruit pickers in from overseas, and I spoke to Paula about this. She said, you think about it, if you're in Brisbane, you're looking for work, for you to go to Stanthorpe, you've got to move house, you've got to take your belongings, maybe. The seasonal work's only seasonal. It's going to cost you more than what you will earn.
And that's the thing. The fruit needs to be picked. Well, and unless you're providing the accommodation for free,
accommodation and food, because
it doesn't make up for. Like, you've still got to pay your bills in Brisbane or Toowoomba, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't afford to do that as well as pay for accommodation and food, and potentially have your family gone for 3 months of the year just to pick some mangoes.
So I'm with you. We've got to get the backpackers back and start that travel system again. So interesting times there. So. Mate, the exchange building.
I'm sure there's plenty of, Pacific Island nations, even New Zealand, that have had 0 to no cases of coronavirus that are more than willing to come over and pick fruit.
Exactly. Did you know tomatoes is a big crop out in Stanthorpe? There's a lot of tomatoes produced out there.
Was it something like 70-something%? I think it is. Are grown in the Lockyer Valley.
So,
and carrots. 98% of Australia's carrots come from the Lockyer Valley.
We're a bustling region around here, so
again,
support local businesses that are buying from these local suppliers as well. So
Well, the Chamber of Commerce has got a map for that as well.
Okay.
So we've got the city map, highlights and attractions, and the Chamber of Commerce has got the local produce map.
Okay.
So they've got all the different places that go out of their way to buy and sell local produce.
Yeah, excellent. That's a great thing. So think local, support local, buy local. Mate, in real estate news, this blew my mind. What's his name? Carlisle.
Jacob.
Not Jacob, his father. What's his father's name? I can't remember now. I'll think of it in a minute.
Your age.
Yeah, I know. Leon Carlisle, Hot Property, has listed the Exchange Building in Margaret Street for sale. Now, it's got those 4 facades. It's got Exchange Building 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's apparently a heritage-listed building, but it certainly doesn't look like it's been maintained overly well as a heritage-listed building. So my thoughts there would be very cautious, whoever is buying it, because the front of it looks like it just about ready to topple over.
Well, there's 2 offers on the table. So it's listed at $1.7 million. There's 2 offers on the table.
It's a good location.
Oh, yeah. $130,000 rent return a year, and there's still a space of 100 square metres that's not leased out. So, but 2 offers on the table already. It's only just been listed in the last couple of weeks.
There was that service station out in Westbrook that went for over $5 million.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money for a survey.
Robert Weymouth's building another service station. He's got one on Spring and Ruthven Street, and he's building another one as well. So lots of promising...
Lots of investment going on in our region, which is great.
Yeah, it's excellent. Wagners, I'm so excited about what they revealed on Friday, that entertainment
My
precinct.
concern with that, it's a great idea, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see it built. And the fact that Labor's wanting to throw $40 million at it, that's great, but they've still got to win an election, and even then, where are they getting this money from?
Yeah.
Are they gonna borrow enough to get us out of debt? Is that what they're planning? Because that's not a good plan at all. My concern with where the facility is as terrible roads.
The road's not the best, yeah.
And that's on the state government and local council to actually maintain them. And a lot of people have been saying that for years, that the regional roads are not maintained well enough. So there's that issue. And how do you get all the people there? How do you get 40,000 people to a stadium?
Build a railway line, mate. That might be good.
You said it, not me.
Build a light rail or a fast rail, and make it dual purpose so we can do commercial as well as passenger. So, good idea. Mate, national news, no deaths in Victoria yesterday from corona. The funeral industry will be hurting. Oh, sorry. But it's good news, finally, no deaths. So that's excellent news. 7 new cases. In New South Wales, no cases over the last 9 days. And I think, how long since we've had a case in Queensland? It's been a while.
No, we've had a couple.
There were
3, I think. So.
Yep. So here we go.
Was it funeral businesses where you're dying to meet us?
Oh no, Bondi, towel distancing now.
What?
So there's sort of the council down there saying be a towel distance between people when you're on the beach. They don't want to close the beach today. Waverley Council, I think it is down there, and the parks. They've got circles like this mat here that you sit in that circle and then. It's crazy, mate. I just couldn't believe it. They're drawing big circles on the grass. That's the area you stay in. Then you go into another area. It's quite funny.
I must put it out there. If I, as a human being, choose to put myself at risk of going within 1.5 meters of another human being, that should be my risk to take. It's not on the government to tell me and everyone else what you can and can't do with your own life. They're there to govern and to make sure the economy keeps ticking along, not to make sure you don't go within 1.5 meters of someone in a club. God forbid you be dancing. Yeah. What's the difference to dancing? Just standing there swapping numbers and going home.
Yeah, I'm a bit sick of seeing all the tape on the ground on footpaths and carpet and that sort of thing, and crosses and anyhow.
And isn't it interesting? Stadiums. Totally okay now. We can have full capacity at stadiums.
Yep.
Just in time for the AFL.
Mate, on Toowoomba 4350 TV, Matt Velsy, he said, "You're a bloody risk taker, Ben Apsey."
I am a risk taker.
Oh, jeez. I bet you'll be getting excited. Budget night tomorrow night.
Oh, I'm very excited for budget night.
You're Liberal.
I'm excited, but I'm excitedly nervous about what it's going to mean as well.
Well, I'm telling you, your Liberal government, $1.1 trillion in debt. Now, I know there's a reason why it's in debt, right? But that goose was on Insiders yesterday. The goose, Dr. Jim Chalmers from the Labor Party, slamming the Morrison government. I'm like, he's a dickhead, mate, really.
The debt came from
coronavirus.
The debt's there for two reasons. Corona, because we were in theory and based on last year's budget, we would be back in the black. Now, yes, that would mean that there is still debt, but that means that we're at least going positively in the right direction.
Exactly.
We're making money for the government, which then can be in turn used to pay off the debt, as opposed to when Cruddy was in, Kevin 07, and he just was like,
flip,
you get $600, you get $600, you get $600. Oh, wait, you're not 18, you don't get it.
That's
right,
right,
even though you're at uni living by yourself, you don't get it. You get $600, you get $600. And that all added up. The debt came from Labor, nowhere else. So for Labor to come out and say, you've still got you've got all this intergenerational debt. Yeah, we've got intergenerational debt. And I'd love to see it paid off, but at the same time, I don't want to see everyone jobless. So it's a balancing act.
Mate, it's really good. Spears on ABC now. He's definitely attacks both sides, and he wasn't really happy with Jim Chalmers yesterday.
Just need more people. The country needs more people so that they can generate more taxes. That's the theory.
So there you go. I've had my say about Dr. Jim Chalmers. There you go. Mate, worldwide, Donald Trump got the Rona.
He did. Oh, well.
And he went on a cavalcade today with his security team. Went out for a drive and put all his FBI agents and everyone at risk again. So he's only been locked down for 2 or 3 days. It was really... Did you watch it?
He's been hit with a pretty good cocktail of drugs.
Well, they have. They've done some antibiotics.
I think the people are trying to determine whether he's been hit with hydrochloroquine or not. Because if he has, that leads... See, now, if there's a viable solution for a problem, they can't expedite and rush a vaccine. So while they've got it banned, they can rush a vaccine and get it through all that red tape. How about just get it through the red tape? It shouldn't matter. Like, if there's a treatment there that, yes, there may be some side effects in some people, but there's a treatment that they could be using, why not use it?
Exactly, the Deputy Premier of Queensland put a tweet out.
He's an idiot.
Trump, he said, I'd try... bleach or something like that.
Why don't you try intravenous bleach?
And then another person...
Hey, Stephen Miles, how about you try a Facebook poll and change the name of the government buildings while you're at it?
That was bad taste, him doing that. And another poll, someone in America tweeted, hope Trump dies. I mean, I don't wish that upon anyone, mate. But, you can secretly sit there and cross your fingers, but don't put it out there like that.
I've always been taught no matter who is in charge, as much as I don't like the Labor government, you still have to respect that they are in charge, which sucks. And it definitely sucks for those in Victoria, I can say that right now. Like, they are in a world of hurt.
They are.
But they're put in that position of authority, and unfortunately, you have to respect the position that they're in. Obviously, there's an extent to that where if they are doing the wrong thing and they're like genocidal maniacs or totalitarian in nature, yes, that's where evil triumphs if good people stand back and do nothing. So there's that moral dilemma. Do you follow one or the other?
No, look, it's interesting times, and you're right, you've got to respect leaders. May not like Anastasia Palaszczuk, you may not like her, but you've got to
easiest way to get rid of her? October 19?
October 31, you vote. Make sure you vote.
If they haven't put out all their major policies, which the LNP have been doing a very good job of, I might add. They have been very much hitting the ground running with a lot of their policies. There's only one that I don't agree with so far, and that's the duplication of the M1. I really don't think we need another M1 on the Gold Coast. We need high-speed rail. Our southeast corner needs high-speed rail.
So the government goes into caretaking mode tomorrow. They're busy today, frantically negotiating with Virgin to get Virgin in Queensland and in Brisbane. So if they don't get that deal struck today, it's not going to happen. But the LNP said they'll back it. They will back Labor.
If it's signed off
today,
they'll be obliged to, because it's a contract. And the LNP aren't going to hopefully go and tear up contracts just after they've been signed.
No, they've said they'll back it. So
because we all know that has happened in the past where they've gone, well, no, we don't like what you did, so we'll tear it up.
Yep.
But it's one of those things. Sometimes they might be from opposing sides of government, but they really do just need to work together for the good of the people, not for the good of themselves winning an election. And certainly not for the good of themselves winning an election and going to another seat just to get more power.
Interesting times ahead, mate. That's about all I've got. The other thing I was just going to say, Boris knows that people of the UK aren't very happy with him and the government, but lockdowns are continuing.
But Brexit got through.
Brexit got through. So, big shout out to Neil from CGD Group. He has come up with some great stuff here for us and put this cornflake together, and it's out the front there. So again, Globetrotters Travelling Cruise, travel mugs, where could coffee take you? Studio 4350, Studio 4350, that's right, more than just postcode, and Laporte Lawyers. So symbiotically working together.
That's it.
Okay, mate, look, I've got to run, I've got to get to work, so busy day ahead. Anything else you want to cover off?
No, that's it. It's a bit of a longer special for the royal birthdays.
We'll enjoy the last long weekend before we get into the Christmas season. So, traffic delays predicted galore today, so please drive to the conditions, drive
12
safe.
12 weeks and counting to Christmas.
Yeah. Scary.
It's actually less than that.
Yeah, it's going to be less than that. Righto, I'm Daryl Nicholson. G'day to Stanthorpe, Warwick, Dalby, everywhere that's got a postcode. You're more than just postcodes, you're all about community.
Thank you for joining us with Good Morning Toowoomba. The Queen Elizabeth II, may she reign forevermore.
Yes, with her corgis.
Thank you for joining us with Good Morning Toowoomba. I'm Ben Apsey.
Corgis.